One guy you will not forget when you meet him.
Bring all three of those guys together. That's how I try to play.
Hey, man, what y'all doing down there?
Man, I was having fun. I was just going out there just playing football. Like,
it's only going to get better. The Players Club is presented by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Washington Commanders. Welcome into the Players Club. I'm London Fletcher, joined by Santana Moss and Brian Robinson Jr. B-Rob, man, we appreciate you joining us.
It's an honor to be here, man. I told you.
Yeah, you're the second rookie we let on our show, man. So feel honored. Yeah. You know, we had Jihad on here earlier in the year. For you got your opportunity to get into the end zone, first TD as a NFL player on the road against the Chicago Bears. The go-ahead touchdown too at that. What did that moment feel like for you?
Man, honestly, that was the dream for me, man. Like, you know, just want to play in this league for so long, and you know, working so hard up to that point, and you know, going through what I went through. You know, being faced with adversity. You know, so close. You know, ahead of the season. And, you know, spending the first 4 weeks in recovery mode, you know, to get back on the field week 5 and, you know, having to start week 6 and you know, having my team pull out the win, you know, that's just, you know, everything that I was looking forward to coming back for, like, you know, those type of opportunities and, you know, giving my team a chance to win.
How was that process with you when it's like, okay, I'm here now, you know, I got my feet up under me a little bit, probably not where I was at before I had to, you know, start over a little bit. But now, you know, I'm feeling like myself. Do every week grows a little different on you, knowing that, okay, I'm week 2 or week 3 of this, they about to see the old, you know, B-Rob.
Right. I think week by week, day by day, I'm taking strides in the right direction. I'm getting better and better. The confidence is, you know, coming back, you know, every day at practice and, you know, with the continuous game reps. So I think, you know, as the weeks go on and, you know, I keep stacking days, man, I'm gonna definitely be there soon.
Yeah. You mentioned the journey and everything you went through. What was that journey like for you? We can remember just watching you come out of that tunnel against the Titans, man, and I'm up in the booth calling the game, and we're standing up, you know, applauding you as you coming on the field. That was just a great moment for us. What was that moment like for you, and what was kind of going through your mind?
Man, I was just so blessed, man. I was just feeling so blessed that, you know, God gave me the opportunity to do it all over, you know, just do it again, you know, be able to come back out on that field, man. Like I told you, you know, I was in a situation where it was questioned, you know, weeks before, and like, you know, if I was going to be able to return back to the field. Like, I never wanted to, you know, feel questioned in that area, you know, just, you know, because I work so hard and I'm so passionate about it. I never want to be questioned if I'll be able to play football and, you know, just, you know, going through what I went through, you know, it was questioned. And the fact that I got a chance to actually come back out on this field and play at this level, man, I'm just blessed, honestly.
When you did your first press conference, one of the things that you talked about was being the king of adversity. You know, when we hear that, obviously we know about what you went through there. Growing up in Tuscaloosa, you know, was there some other things that you went through that you've had to overcome to even get to, you know, playing at Alabama and making it into the NFL?
Well, I mean, I had to overcome a lot of obstacles really and coming up in Tuscaloosa, man. Just, you know, it was hard growing up there. You know, we didn't have, you know, the resources and, you know, the connections that we needed to, you know, take that next step. You know, it was hard for us. You know, we were so small, you know, and just in one's place. So, you know, it was several things I was faced with coming up in Tuscaloosa. Like back when I was in 6th grade, we had a devastating tornado. I was right in the dead center of that. You know, so going through situations like that, you know, there's just another, you know, situation, you know, where adversity struck, you know, out of nowhere, and you had to deal with it and had to find a way to, you know, recover and find out what your purpose is and what you're going to do in your life, you know, because, I mean, that was nature. You know, that almost, you know.
It's crazy. It's crazy,
you know,
to sound.
So, you know, other than that, you know, just staying home and, you know, silencing, you know, all of the negativity around me back at home while I was trying to go to school. You know, with the amount of time that I stayed at school, you know, I didn't plan on being there 5 years when I signed. So I ended up having to stay there 5 years and, just balance school and home out. It was a lot to deal with, right there in Tuscaloosa, from adversity to patience to, just everything I had to do to stay down, to get here, really.
So I'm glad you brought that up because I was definitely about to dive into just the journey of getting to the NFL. Well, you just briefly talked about staying there 5 years. I went to the University of Miami. We all know back in the days when I was playing and before my years, University of Miami was like the school that spit out all the.
Y'all were like Alabama back then, back in the day.
That's what I was getting to. Alabama is now y'all took over what we used to be. You know what I mean? When it comes to just the talent and just how many guys have to sit behind each other. What was that like for you? You just spoke about it, the 5 years. Those guys that was in front of you, you getting the chance to watch the guys, play behind them, see those guys on the next level, and then waiting for your opportunity. When you finally got your opportunity, now it's time for you to go out there and do what they did or be better. What was that journey like for you?
Man, it was a situation where it was hard only because you got all these great athletes in one room that's so prideful, and we all want to be on the field, but it's only one ball. So it was a situation where I was just thankful to be a part of a group, so talented. So, what I took from that, I was just, it's really no excuses, to be in such a, dynamic group like that and see guys take the next step and you be the one who can't pick up on, what everybody else picked up on. You be the one out of the group who can't take that next step, because we all working together, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's like, you see one guy go off and do it the right way, and then you see the other guy go off and do it the right way, and then you see 3 out of 4 go and do it, and you just like, there's really no excuses for you to not pick up on what it takes, to take it to that next level, take that next step. So I just looked at it as an opportunity for me to get better every day and compete with guys at that caliber. And the more and more I got in tune to that, the more I pushed myself, the more we pushed each other to, so we can all, be at this level. We all are at this level, playing at a high level too. So,
see, I'm glad you brought that up because that was something that I experienced. When we saw a guy that I was just literally right there in school doing some of the same things with, we patching up money to go out there and get certain things, and now I'm seeing him in the NFL make it. And when he's calling the locker room back, telling us, EJ was known for calling the locker room on Mondays. Hey man, what y'all doing down there? Because he knew all the guys was gonna be in the locker room at a certain time watching BET, sitting on the couches. That's what we did every time we got a break. But you just spoke about seeing, 3 out of 4 guys done made it, and this is all you had to do. Basically, they had the blueprint, and you watch that. You say, okay, this is what I got to do. I got to make sure I do what I do here, then I can be on that stage. How much motivating it was, or how much motivation those guys gave you to go out there and succeed, knowing that, hey, if I just follow their lead, I should be in the same, I should be doing some of the same things they doing.
And really, those dudes motivated me with everything they did because I wasn't doing it. You know what I'm saying? That was before I even had the confidence that I can even do it at that level when I was watching them. So when I was a freshman, before I even made any big plays, on that level, I was watching Damian and Josh and them just make plays and just do it, you know what I'm saying, with confidence and just consistently. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, like the more, I just listen to these dudes and, mimic them in practice and, just try to pick up on the little things, you know what I'm saying, to just help me, build the confidence that I need to go and make plays when it's my turn. I just wanted to be ready when I never knew when it was gonna come. I never knew. I just trained like it, prepared like I was gonna start one day. So I didn't end up starting until my 5th year, but I used to just go in there, work, prepare like I was gonna start any day. And the more, the time goes on, you just putting that work in, your time comes, it's your time now, you gotta be ready for it. And I just felt like I was ready when my time came, because of all the work I put in prior to, my opportunity, really.
Yeah, I can remember watching you in the preseason, and I've shared this with Santana on a couple of occasions. I was like, man, this dude is special, And I'm looking at it, watching you from a linebacker perspective. When I played, I would study the the running backs and how they set up their blocks, how, they feed, how they ran the ball, body lean, all like that. And I even told Tanner, I was like, man, this guy reminds me of two people. and they had both happened to be University of Miami guys, and one was Frank Gore and Edgerrin James. I was like, man, he reminds me of those two, a combination of those two guys. Not trying to put any pressure on you.
Well, you good.
Yeah, Ed's gonna be Ed's is in the Hall of Fame, and Frank is going to the Hall of Fame. But when I saw you, it was a move that you made against the Kansas City Chiefs. A little hole, your footwork to get into that crease on the power hole. I'm like, and then the body lean, that reminded me of Edgerrin James. I'm like, man, and then the burst, I'm like, this dude reminds me of Edgerrin James and Frank Gore. Was coming up with who were the running back that you tried to model your game after, just growing up?
Really, over the TV, I used to have Reggie Bush. I paid the most attention to him throughout college. And,
he was a highlight reel.
Adrian Peterson. That was my two. Yeah. That was my two. I ain't never think I could play like Reggie or something because of my style of play. Yeah. But just him as a running back, you know what I'm saying, was just too exciting to not get excited for. And Adrian Peterson, I felt like, was more of my style type.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to pick up on what I seen him do because we had a similar body type and I had a similar run style to him. So I just want to kind of pick up on the things, AP was doing. But growing up in Tuscaloosa, and I started having guys like Mark come through and have a Heisman season right there in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Then all the stabler backs just start coming through. Mark and Trent have a Heisman run, and it just goes on, So, I'm just glad I got a chance to really, see those guys so close, to home. Because, man, that's greatness in my eyes, man.
Right.
That was the first Heisman, in Alabama history, and then running back. I was on to all that. I was just on that. You know what I'm saying? But now that I'm in the NFL, I still got guys I kind of I watch and pick up on, like Derek. You know what I'm saying? Just big, physical, big and physical style. Josh, because he might not have the big physical presence, but he run and he play like it.
Yeah.
Then we got Joe Mixon, only because I like his style of patience and his footwork. You know what I'm saying? So bring all three of those guys together. That's how I try to play.
Still to come on the Players Club.
I promise you, I will not be stopped.
What's it like playing for Nick Saban? Time for the player profile presented by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Washington Commanders.
How was those practices, man? I mean, I know you can talk all day about them because I'm asked that question time to time, man. What was our practices like? And it was just like playing against somebody's best or one of the best teams in college at the time when I was in school. What was that like for you? Just knowing that, I mean, like you said, you had to wait your turn to your fifth year. What was it like to going up against the other guys, like, the guys on the defensive side that you now playing against, and some of the guys are here with you on this team?
Yeah, I talk about it sometimes though, but like my freshman year, I had to run scout team. So Coach Burns, he put me on the scout team. Like the first week, I told him, I was like, I'm staying down here the whole year. I was like, I want to stay down here the whole year.
Right.
Yeah.
And I had fun, man. When I tell you, I came out there every day, and Duran will tell you, man, we just trash talk. I just find ways to get better, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was going against the first team defense. Man, I was having fun. I was just going out there just playing football, like doing anything I could to try to make a play against that defense. That we won a championship that year.
Yeah.
And I made some plays against that defense on that scout team the whole year, but that helped me build confidence early. You know what I'm saying? When they put me in a scrimmage, like my first fall scrimmage, they put me in like with the second, third team. So like I had to go up against the first team defense. And I went out, I made plays out the gate. You know what I'm saying? That just helped me build confidence like early. So that was the confidence I needed to just keep going. You know what I'm saying? To believe that I could do it. you know what I'm saying, do it up against these type of players. So that was a great start for me, honestly.
Yeah. I want to know, what's it like playing for Nick Saban? You know, Saban, he seems like a no-nonsense type of guy, but he also seems like he might like to have a little fun, too. What was it like playing for him?
Coach personality bright, man. You could tell he definitely about business, like winning.
Yeah.
When I say the business, I mean winning. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna do everything in his power to make sure we on track to win. You know what I'm saying? Put us in the best position to win. You know, any fun he have outside of that, then, you know, we joke and you know, coach a people's person for real. Like he care about the people, you know what I'm saying? But he care about winning. You know, he care about, you know, what's in the building, you know what I'm saying? Nothing outside of the building. You know, he care about the people that's in the building and what we got to do in the building to, you know, succeed. And I like it, man. Most people might not like it, you know, a coach who's just always on point about everything, but I don't got a problem with that because I want to win too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
you grew up in Tuscaloosa, played college ball there. This is really your first time being outside of Alabama. You coming to the big. Were you a little nervous about moving into a bigger city?
I don't think I was nervous on it because I was ready. Like I was just ready to take that next step in life. It didn't really matter where it took me. Like I was ready. Like it could have took me to the Bay Area. It don't matter where I went. Like I was gonna be ready for it because I was just ready to take that next step in my life. That was really one of the main reasons why I stayed home to go to school, because I knew, like, you know, this it. You know what I'm saying? This gonna be it for me. You know what I'm saying? Here at home, like I'm gonna play ball at the highest level right here at home, and it might be it.
And then you had enough time to mature. So, you know, that was the same way with me. Like by the time I got to New York, you know, even though I didn't want to go to New York out the gate like that, I was mature enough to know, like, I mean, I had whispers saying that, hey, the Dolphins trying to get you, which they were. They were trying to bring my stock value. They were trying to bring my value down just so they could snag me late in the first round. And I'm like, wow, man. I mean, but at that time, you know, and not being a big Dolphin fan, my dad loved the Dolphins. I would have loved to play for them just because they was Miami. But I feel like I was like, man, I'm ready to lead this place. I done been here long enough. And, you know, lo and behold, I go kick my behind to New York. And it was crazy because even though I was ready, when I got there, the city was bigger than what I expected. You know what I'm saying? So that was a great question to ask you that.
After the game Thursday night, we were walking out the locker room, going to the bus, and he like, Big Fletcher. So we talk a little bit, and I'm like, man, you look like yourself. You know, I saw your bird starting to, you know, making some nice cuts. He said, yeah, it's only gonna get better. Like that's your mindset. So, you know, what can we expect from you moving forward? This is the last question for me.
What y'all can expect from me is that, man, I'm gonna come out here, I'm gonna try to get better every day. You know, I'm gonna try to make improvements on every part of my game. It don't matter. Like, I'm never satisfied with nothing. I don't know. I don't know when I'll ever be satisfied with anything. But, man, I want to put my best foot forward. I want to perform, put my best performance out there. You know, I'm still getting there, you know, it's physically. But when I get there, I promise you, like, I will not be stopped.
Yeah. No, I feel that, bro. I can honestly say them words that you speak, I feel, and I'm an energy person. Yeah. I go off energy. I can walk in a room with dudes and tell who for me and who ain't.
Right.
And one of the things, your energy spoke to me a long time before you ran the ball here. The first day I was around you, I just how you was embracing the guys around that played and was, you know, basically conversing with us when we sat down to dinner at I think that was the steakhouse across the street over here. I felt something different about your energy. And I also can say, you know, your football IQ, that stood out to me after the game of the day. You was asked something, and the way you kind of answered that question, I was like, man, that sounds like Jahan when we asked him something. And to me, that it makes me smile because just knowing that our team is doing the right thing, bringing the right kind of guys, headstrong guys that can go out there on the field and produce, but at the same time, they're not satisfied and they see stuff. You able to talk about some things after the game that I was sitting there like, for a rookie, I didn't expect to hear that from him. You know what I mean? And so to hear you kind of say, this is some of the things that I need to get better, I could have done this and that. we ain't. I know me, young Tanner wasn't talking like that. So to hear you kind of deliver that to us and sit down with Jahan a couple of times, and he spoke about different things that he's seeing from watching film. You know, I really feel that for you guys, and to tell you the truth, bro, it's gonna happen because you speaking it and you out there able to. You're not just talking about it; you're actually putting action into it. So, hats off to you, man. I know just from what you said, I'm expecting that from you because I can tell the way you go about your business.
Sure, man.
We appreciate you being on the show. One of the things we have all our guests do is sign this football. Yeah. So we're gonna have you put your John Hancock on there for us, man.
Biggest blessing.
Well, B-Rob, appreciate you joining us on the Players Club. Looking forward to seeing you Sunday against the Packers and the rest of the season.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Be sure to listen to the extended version of the Players Club podcast wherever you get your podcast. Plus, you can watch on Commanders YouTube and Commanders.com. We're back on the Players Club, Santana. It's alumni weekend, man. Mm-hmm. We're going to celebrate the 90th greatest. We're on that list. But first of all, what's it like for you when all these guys get together?
I mean, the atmosphere is something to, I guess you can say, take in. As a player, I remember being here and seeing those guys come in. You know, it was always special to me just to see the guys that did it before me. I'm not big when it comes to history. I couldn't tell you about that guy, how he was as a player, because I didn't follow him as well. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to different positions, I'm a receiver. I always heard about Gary Clark. I remember at one time, Art Monk was the guy, Gary Clark, and then just hearing some of the stories about the Super Bowl runs. But to see guys like Gary around year in and year out, man, it's always great just being able to embrace, some of the things that they did and some of the things that they've seen that you've done, Joe Theismann, I've done plenty of appearances with him and some of his stories, man, just the story of, what kind of took him out of his game, hearing the whole story about him and LT, it almost brought me to tears just to know why he's so fiery about and so passionate about this. So I just love the atmosphere. I think it's good for, their legacy, the legacy of the franchise.
Yes.
And just good for the area, as a whole.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what guys that we played with during our era, the younger guys, the 30 and 40-year-olds are going to come back. I want to see, man. I hope Reed Dowdy comes back.
Reed Dowdy,
man. Reed was my guy, man. I love Reed. And Reed used to get, people didn't realize how important Reed was to us. I mean, Reed held us that defense together so many times because he wasn't athletically gifted like a Sean Taylor or LaRon Landry, but his smarts and his, he had to play a lot of football for us. But I hope Reed comes back. I know he's
first of all, just to, and I don't mean to cut you off, but just to speak on a little bit about Reed. What folks fail to realize is I think we so enamored with the stars and how they play the game, but they don't understand for the guys who don't have that ability, what it takes for them to be able to last as long as a Reed. You know what I mean? And that's where that football IQ come in at, and then that's where just the hard work and the dedication to your craft come in too. He didn't go out there and just be there or be at the position he was in, by luck. You know what I mean? So it takes a lot. So and trust me, I hear guys always talk about certain guys, and I be like listening to dudes, especially the ones that's home talking, being an analyst of the game. They that guy this and that.
Yes.
I'm like, well, if he's this and that, then what are you? Because you home watching him. You know what I'm saying? So guys like Reed probably would never have said this to him then, but you appreciate a guy like that because you know what he's lacking. You know what he has, and regardless of what he don't have, the player he's able to be for you. A guaranteed guy that's going to go out there and be consistent. I mean, that's all you can ask for, man.
Yeah, I mean, just a core special teams guy, did all this thing. He was starting at free safety and still starting on all the special teams. He still, you know, that was how he made his mark in the league. Guys like him, and those are when you look at the teams in general, you're gonna have, I don't know, 4 or 5, maybe 6 stars, or so to speak, or main guys. But then your team is made of a lot of guys who play their role and play it well. The teams that are really good,
guys,
you got to have those guys who play their role and play it well. And if you want to win and win consistently, it's guys like that. A guy like Kedrick Golston, you know, very underrated. Wasn't flash. He wasn't going to give you a bunch of stats and fill up the stat sheet, but played for over a decade here. Kedrick might have played
10 years. 10 years.
Was it 10 or 12? Okay, 10 years
10,
here.
10 to 12 years. He might have played more than that. I think it was 12.
I know, it was over 10.
12.
I think it might have been 12.
Because I know at one point it was saying that from the guys that I played with, I had the most years, me and D Hall, but Kedrick played with us and he ended up surpassing after we got out.
Right.
He played a couple more years. So I think he ended up going about 12 years.
Yeah. So definitely hope to see you know, a guy like him.
Yeah.
With Tanner, always good to chop it up with you on the Players Club, man. Looking forward to this weekend's game and also, you know, getting back here with you next week on the Players Club.